The women of the Bible. Delilah? The name Delilah means worshipper or devotee. Quote, nowadays, she has come to mean a seductive woman.
Who was Delilah?
Delilah was a beautiful Philistine woman and a successful courtesan. Delilah lived in the valley of the Sorek, which stretched across the border between the ancient Philistine territories and the Israelite tribe of Dan.
Who was Delilah?
Delilah was a wicked woman who deceived Samson by misusing her skill and beauty.
Samson, one of Israel's judges, had an affair with Delilah, and she betrayed him to the Philistines. Judges chapter 16 verse 19.
Delilah consumed, through her words and hypocrisy, the life of a person who had been dedicated to God from birth.
And Samson went down to Timnah and saw there a woman of the daughters of the Philistines.
Samson doesn't pass by Delilah without noticing.
On the contrary, he makes the ancient mistake that Eve made in paradise. He looked at her and fell in love with her.
Delilah knew how to draw Samson, and he fell into the trap.
Delilah used her body's first weapon of beauty.
What did Delilah do? Delilah used her skill and beauty to destroy the life of a man who was a judge in Israel.
Delilah took advantage of Samson's weakness in character and thus seduced him into betraying the Philistine promised amount of silver. Judges chapter 16 verse 5.
Delilah used her second weapon of repeated persistence with her demands until Samson finally relented and shared the secret of his power.
Delilah was proud of her beauty and admiration, and did not want to give up that 1100 silver offering.
Because of her stubborn pride, Delilah was never loving, gentle, and quiet with Samson.
Delilah lacked true love for her lover. Her betrayal of Samson was motivated by her cold indifference.
The Philistines contact Delilah to find out Samson's powers. In order to capture him, they pay Delilah in exchange for the information that will come.
See if you can lure him into showing you the secret of his great strength.
And how we can overpower him.
So we may tie him up and subdue him.
Each one of us will give you 1100 shekels of silver. Judges 16, 1-31.
Delilah uses her emotional weapon and pretends to doubt Samson's love. In the end, she's pretty insistent. All of this causes Samson to become weak and fall into her trap.
As she annoyed him and kept insisting, he became very upset.
Finally, he opened his heart to her and said,
No razor has ever been used on my head, he said. Because I have been a Nazirite dedicated to God from my mother's womb. If my head were shaved, my strength would leave me, and I would become as weak as any other man.
Delilah's weapons:
attraction,
manipulation,
pride,
infidelity,
stimulation.
Insistence.
Did Delilah do?
Using her powers of seduction and deception, Delilah persistently carried on Samson with her repeated requests, until he finally disclosed the essential information.
Proverbs 16:25. It is a path that seems right to man, but at the end of it are the ways of death.
While Samson was
sleeping on her lap, Delilah summoned a conspirator to shave his hair.
Delilah defeats Samson.
At first, Samson doesn't know any of this.
When Samson woke up, it was too late,
Samson went blind forever.
leaving the Philistines to bind him.
Take out his eyes, and take him as a slave. Judges chapter 16 verses 18-21.
Delilah, the original fatal woman, illustrates the truth of 1 Timothy 6:10. The love of money is the root of all evil.
How can we learn from Delilah?
From Delilah, we can learn not to use charm and beauty for personal gain.
As Christians, we must let God write our love story.
Samson almost lost his crown with Delilah's deceptive charm and beauty.
We learned from Delilah that we must pay attention to whom we tell our secrets, because not all people have our best interests at heart and not all relationships are good for us.
That is why, since we are surrounded by such a large cloud of witnesses, let us set aside anything that might hinder us from the sin that holds us so tightly, and let us persevere in the race ahead. Hebrews chapter 12 verse 1.
Morale.
Keep your family confidential. Delilah revealed Samson's secrets to her enemies. Keep the secrets to yourself and don't tell others about it.
Study your husband and know his strengths. Delilah only took the time to learn about Samson's power and used it against him.
Don't let anyone manipulate you. Delilah manipulated Samson into telling him his secrets that led to his death.
Be gentle and loving. Relationships are worth more than material wealth.
Don't let anyone take your crown. Here I come soon. Keep what you have so that no one will take your crown.